Hello, Aquarius friends. Happy New Year. Welcome to January 2026, when you will have at least a 7-planet pileup in Aquarius. It's very much about the language that Aquarius speaks elementally this month and this new year. This is for you if Aquarius is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Aquarius placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Aquarius friends, so birthdays like February 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Aquarius placements to the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Pisces report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so I am going to give you quite a few dates, and we have some juicy ones this month. It's a pretty exciting time. I'm going to give you all the details. If you find that you can write these down, you may want to do that so you can mark them on your calendar. If you don't have some place to write it down, or in general you are a visual person, you can get my written version of the highlights of this report, my sweet and salty date report, at anniehelpsyou.com. Okay, so you can go to anniehelpsyou.com, grab your free star report for January, and that will give you even more information about these aspects, the dates, and what this month is all about. Okay, so I'm going to layer in a lot of things this month. We've got a couple of things to know, leading with from the beginning. We are not in a personal planet retrograde or shadow period from December 17th through February 12th. That means all of this month and before and after. February 12th, okay. So that means that all systems are go. The tides are going out. You as a spider don't have to stay in your web and let the food come to you anymore, because now it's time to put the boats afloat with the tides going out. Go out, build, your new webs, as I like to use these analogies, and make some things happen. A massive amount of Capricorn energy leading up to your Aquarius spree is going to give a lot of focus, a lot of ambition, a lot of discernment, action-oriented energy. But since it's all happening in your inner world, you might be planning in secret. You might be doing things behind the scenes to prepare for your new birth year, or your new sun crossing over your Aquarius placements, or all of these planets getting into your first house and starting a new cycle. Whatever it is, you've got the first half of the month brewing internally, getting ready, starting to make decisions, getting all your ducks in a row. And then you're moving in with continuous action as the month progresses. Okay, so we're going to go a lot more into that. But first, because at the beginning of the month, we've got the full moon at 13 degrees of Cancer. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama for this super moon, for better and worse, coming to home and family. Housing, ancestral roots, things having to do with your emotional inner world. You've got this moon accentuating the water energy of your inner world. You've got all of the Cap energy highlighting the 12th house in Pisces of your inner world. So there's definitely going to be this balance of action in the material realm and inner musings. So this whole first week of the month, really from the time New Year's starts till the exact full moon on January 3rd, and the days after it, you will feel this building process, this elucidation, the drama for better and worse. You could have just an amazing family time, beautiful memories made, breakthroughs occurring, or you can have some drama that needs to be worked out, or attention coming, or stress coming. But there's nothing in the full moon itself that makes it have to go into one way or another. It's a complex mix of how it's affecting all of your particular personal placements, etc. But it is happening specifically for Aquarius in the 6th house of health, of your daily routine, of your work life, of your office experience, of the things you do every day, and the people you see every day. So there could be some element of elucidation coming from those arenas as well. This also can have to do with pets and animals. If you're looking to give an animal a forever home, or take on a foster, or do something with animals, this first week has extra special energy, bringing something meaningful and magical to the animal realm. But with Jupiter moving through your 6th house from June of 2025 until through June of 2026, this may be a time where you add to your lot of animals, or get more focused on working with animals or something having to do with that. This is also a time of expansion of your health and your wellness routines. And with all of this Capricorn energy, you may be starting a new routine. You may be committing to a new exercise plan or stress management or something with your health that you're getting super disciplined about. And you may have information that comes in at the beginning of the month to help you gear your efforts. You may go through testing. You may have something go on. You may make a discovery. And the Capricorn energy will be there to help you structure moving forward. It's a great month to start gym memberships or Pilates or yoga or, whatever it feels, you've decided is how you want to move forward. There's a strong element of commitment and focus. This full moon can also give you emotional clarity about this health and daily routine if you've been looking to try to figure out the perfect plan for you. You could end a habit. That could be what the moon is about. And you could have a work or a task reach a culmination if you're trying to launch something. There could be great energy at this time. We do have a series of dates, which I'll give you soon, that could even be better if you have control over it, because we've got just a massive, sweet showing of aspects this month. So if you want to actively use the energy this first week with this full moon, you can switch out draining routines. Something's just wearing on you. It's just too much. It needs to be refreshed. It's just too heavy. It's too boring, whatever it is. You can swap it out. You may need to create a schedule that honors your emotional needs. And this would be a great time to come to that awareness. You may release a job or a pattern or an obligation, or do something that makes your daily experience feel more like a nurturing ritual. Okay, something else that is very important to know about this month is that as the month progresses, the odds are more and more likely that we'll have manifestations beginning from eclipse season. 2024 to 2027, we've got a Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. So we've had several rounds of this already, and it will continue. So you've been having your money sector, my money versus our money, my stuff versus our stuff. That's what's getting very strongly activated in this eclipse cycle for Aquarius, shuffling around joint money, collaboration money, your income, trading types of money coming in and material things and inner resources and investments. So you'll notice that as the month progresses, we're back in eclipse season. So the big news, the big decisions, the big information, the big events may start coming back alive. The next eclipse in the Virgo Pisces eclipses is March 3rd, a lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo. But like I said, 4 to 6, sometimes even more weeks before you start feeling it. Now, there is an eclipse that's sooner than that March 3rd one, February 17th, a new eclipse cycle in Aquarius and Leo. The last time we had these were early 2017 to early 2019. And before that, early 2008 to the end of 2009. So some of the types of changes that, remember, of course, this is your eclipse cycle, right? So this is activating you. So think about those big changes that you had in those years, 2008 to 2009 and early 2017 to early 2019, personal experiences, saying hello to new people, births, saying goodbye, deaths, or breakups, or changing circumstances or moves where you're separated from people. So you are going through the next layer, or at this beginning of a new layer of cycle that will run towards the end of 2027, even into early 2028. So it's a long cycle of regeneration, replenishment, and healing and karmic clearing. So Aquarius is going to step into the hot seat as we move along here. And the versus we is going to be very strongly accentuated, as is your personal creativity versus the group. What you want to do, your passions, and what the group needs from you. Push and pull between those arenas. You will definitely feel that starting to come up. Okay, so that's going to be a big umbrella that covers the whole month, and everything else we talk about is happening underneath that web. All right, now let's start to layer in some more information here. All right, let's get very specific. We've got Mercury, Juno, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Estrella, and Vesta, plus the new moon on January 18th at 28 degrees of Cap, almost Aquarius. All happening in the sign of Capricorn. So those ambitions, the strategy, the hard work, the long-term planning, all of that is going on. Some of it's going on in your mind and behind the scenes because we do have this, as I said before, this 12th house kind of inner world. You're building something structurally, internally, and you're getting ready to bring it out. Now, some specific things you may see with this combination of the planets moving through the Capricorn Earth placement in the Pisces water house for Aquarius is going to be a lot of deep thinking, a lot of reflection about moving forward. Okay, we're not in a retrograde cycle, so you'll be thinking a lot about the past, but you'll also be thinking a lot of how that relates to your strategy for the future. You may be embracing and needing strategic solitude. The 12th house being flooded will lend itself towards being extra sensitive to noises and sounds and nonsense, and your tolerance level for baloney might be lower. Massive amount of behind the scenes planning this month, lots of mental clarity emerging from a quiet space, secrets or information or research yielding important outcomes. Juno here is bringing up topics of loyalty, a quiet reassessment of commitments with a feeling of pressure or a need to take action. Old relationships or patterns that you've noticed from the past, trying to build something different for the future. As you question outdated bonds and levels of relationship, as you recommit to relationships that support your peace, as you strengthen boundaries and your energy field. So many opportunities to do that this month. As we have Venus ruling there as well this month, we have sometimes something financial going on behind the scenes, or something romantic, a clandestine relationship or situation, or you get some news, maybe a pregnancy, and you're not telling anybody yet. Those kind of things related to love and money. You could have a lot of private, quiet love moments, a deep healing of emotional scars, a quiet longing. You notice I'm using the word quiet a lot. There is this quiet in this house. It's the place where everything connects. Connection to different worlds. Heightened dream activity. Wow, nighttime dream activity. Off the charts. Could also lead to insomnia. The coming of the eclipses also can do that. You may be getting some behind the scenes support, and the full moon may elucidate that for you. You're headed towards an identity reset, okay? And you're plotting that right now. Because as these planets move from Capricorn into Aquarius, they're going to flood your sign, speaking your language, in the mental realm, and in the house of Aries, which also is very action-oriented. So there's a combination of ambition, but a cycle of rest and a cycle of release before this major, major, major rebirth. And kind of this pulling inward energy so that you pull in to regain power. So remember, you're looking for things that drain you. You're looking for places you can rest and strategize and quiet. You're going through the preparation cycle. Maybe you're clearing out clutter, or, your wardrobe, or just releasing things that are not what you want to be part of your future. There could be a lot of action happening and a lot of meetings of the minds. There could be a lot of healing or reflective practices, and this time is amazing for all of that. If there are things that have been avoided, there could be an amazing desire all of a sudden to fix that. Estrella will want some things balanced out. Mars wants to take action. The sun brings a light to the darkness, either through hope or also through awareness. Cleaning up energetic debris. all of this stuff, very, very internal process and around you, like your sacred space around you. The new moon here in the days around the 18th is another level of reset, a 13 moon reset, a quiet new beginning from this place of renewed clarity after releasing the past. And you may be starting to plant seeds for new long-term commitments or a restoration of your focus and commitment to commitments that you have. Okay, so now I want to add in some more layers. The month is a little bit, for very rarely does this happen, but it's neatly kind of sectioned out where the majority of the nuisance or salty aspects, as I like to call them, are happening in the first half of the month. Okay, the salty ones are there. And then the sweet ones are like starting the 14th on. The whole rest of the month is dominated by sweet aspects. We do have more sweet aspects than salty ones this month, so yay. And most of them are from January 17th through the end of the month, but I'm giving a 3-day period there that you'll start to feel it. So you'll have a succession of beautiful aspects. So I'm going to go through this flow right now, starting with some of the salty spree. Right, so all these cat planets that are going to get to 21 degrees are going to oppose Jupiter. Okay, so when there's an opposition with Jupiter, there tends to be an overdoing. There tends to be an overthinking. And this is certainly a month for overthinking. It's good for you to strategize, but it's not good for you to overthink. It's good for you to plan, but it's not good for you to cycle over and over the same thing in your head. So all of this opposition brings this tension between your responsibilities and your inner world, your intuitive faculties and your logic, a desire to hide versus a pressure to perform, the emotional overwhelm of daily tasks versus the intentional structuring of your unruly mind, your health and digestion and your sleep cycles, the patterns of how you show up and your work and your service in the world. So some ways to help with this push and pull are really just to balance self-care. There are things that need your attention and there are things that you have to get done. But you don't have to overgive at work or at home, and this could be a process where you're starting to come to terms with that. Protect your energy before saying yes. Classic Jupiter oppositions will have people say yes before they think about it, and then later be really stressed when they realize they've overpromised. So be very careful with overpromising, especially in the first half of the month. This could be supported, using this energy could support you simplifying your routines and prioritizing healing and balance and sustainability with productivity. Okay, so if what you've been doing and what you've been keeping up is not sustainable, this may be a time where that is brought to light. Okay, now let's go on to these sweet aspects from the 17th through the 22nd, but I'm going to give 3 days in both directions, so the 14th through the 25th, because, we'll very likely feel those energies before and after. We've got a succession of all of these cat planets that are going to get to between 26 and 29 degrees, are all going to have a double 60-degree angle with Saturn and Neptune, okay, in Pisces. And that is in your house of finances. So this is actually a potential for a huge money month for Aquarius. Big, 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 big money month. Because as all of these planets, Mercury and Venus and the Sun and Mars, Astrea and Vesta, all of those planets are going to have each a sweet angle with Saturn and then a sweet angle with Neptune. So everything is doubled, and all of that's happening in these days. So the 17th through the 22nd, if you've got to launch something, oh my gosh, there is so much mega amazing energy. And of course, the days around the 18th, we've got that 28-degree Capricorn moon. So talk about the new beginnings. This is awesome. And it has to do with your sustainability. It has to do with your financial security. It has to do with your emotional security. It has to do with your financial sustenance and blending the material realm with the ethereal realm. Okay, so as the month progresses, we're going to have most of these planets move into Aquarius. Mercury will get there, Juno not yet, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Pluto, of course, is already there full time. Pallas Athena is already in Aquarius, and then Vesta is also going to get there. all into Aquarius. Going over this very important point. This point in the chart right here, this line, is where we go from formless to form. That's our birth moment. That's our materializing into form from the ethereal world. And when planets cross over that point in any of our charts, there's this coming out into form. So you are going to be like a bull in a china shop, trying to get stuff done as all these planets move through the Aries house. So happy birthday to those of you who will be having birthdays, and happy sun transit to those of you who will have the sun and these other planets move over your Aquarian placement, activating your mind and activating your connections with others and activating your networks and activating your groups and your community and activating your place in the world as you step into what's going to be a highly, highly, highly transformative series of years with this with the Aquarius Leo eclipse cycle that's going on at the same time as the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. So when I do early 2017 to early 2019 and early 2008 to the end of 2009, if something bad happened at that time, it doesn't mean that that kind of thing will happen again. Just want to be clear about that, because we do have lots of things that are different in this period of time that were not happening then, and things that were happening then that are not happening now. But there are certain themes, and all of the themes of the combination of these eclipses have to do with you versus other people, your money, finances, and self-sufficiency versus your combined connections with others. And that's going to be the themes that you see coming up. So I gave you a lot of dates. If you didn't have a chance to write those down, or you want more and more explanation of what the heck is going on this month and the beginning of this year, grab your free star report with my sweet and salty date hyperfocus at anniehelpsyou.com. If you want to have a personalized report according to your birth chart done by me with a series of video reports for the outer planets, long-term themes, go to anniebclarity.com, Annie, the letter B, clarity.com, and you can get my take on the very long-term transits that are going on in your life that could be lasting anywhere from a year to even 20 years. If you want to learn astrology, if you are drawn to make this more relevant for you, go deeper into studies for yourself and even to help other people, you will love my very comprehensive course, astrology certification course, at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful month and a wonderful start to your new year, and I'll see you next month. Bye.